Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Today is a very special day for me because my copy of the Cave of Sybil finally arrived. The trials and the tribulations that Tiera May had to go through to even get this deck out to people was astounding. It was insane. I mean, I had to wait for the Canada Post strike to end for this to even be shipped because they weren't even accepting packages into Canada. So it's taken a long time, a long time. This was supposed to be delivered in December and it is now the mid-January. I'm okay with it though. Like, it is what it is. I'm a firm believer in things show up when it's their time to show up. So when we're ready for them, right? So the fact that this is here now just it confirms the fact that I am ready for this. This deck has a very specific purpose into why it's here. I know people just buy them to say that they have them and they don't even know why they have them or what to do with them. But this deck I purchased for a very specific reason and part of my practice. And I will be probably doing another video on that. I'm not going to get into all those details in this video. I really honestly just want to keep this video short and sweet and just kind of my first experience in seeing this beautiful dark creation by Tiera May. So we start off with this beautiful note from her. And I might read it later, but I really honestly just want to see the deck. So I'm just going to kind of skip all this stuff. But she talks about, like, briefly, she talks about how it's a female-based energy born from the Dark Mother. She talks about how she is Earth, seek her in the Earth, so that it's a very Earth-based deck, right? So we have this lovely letter from her. Here we have her beautiful business card. And then, as we can see, this is what happens when parcels and packages come into Canada. The customs go through it and they do what they do to it. So mine, as you can tell, has been obviously opened and gone through. That is the only thing that sucks about customs, is sometimes they're not nice, right? So this has showed up obviously kind of already screwed around with, but that's okay, right? As long as the deck's in good shape, that's all I care about. Oh, I got the sticker off in one whole piece. Yes, I will be using this on something else. Sorry, the recycle truck is backing up down my little road, and it's beeping to let traffic know that it's going in reverse. I don't know if the mic picked that up or not. Usually my mic's pretty good at cutting that stuff out. All right, so customs did not open up the deck. They obviously just wanted to see what it was. All right. Are you guys ready for the I feel like it's been such a long time of me just waiting and waiting. But you know what the funny thing is? Usually I'm extremely impatient waiting for decks. This one, I was not. I patiently waited quietly because I knew it was coming and I knew that it was going to arrive when it was right. So I'm ready for it. All right, here it is. I can already feel like the energy off of it. I can't wait. I honestly didn't really. I watched Tiera May's. I think it was Astro Lady. I don't know if I'm saying Astro or Astro Lady. I watched her unboxing just to make sure that I was attracted to it, and that it was going to serve the purpose that I was hoping it was going to, which it's totally going to. But I hear, like, a lot of people are saying that they don't know how to work with this deck, and it makes me wonder why they purchased it, because, like, I knew what I was doing with this deck and my reasons of purchasing it before I purchased it. So I don't know. Like I said, I feel like sometimes people just grab them to grab them and they don't really stop to ask themselves if they really need it, right? That it adheres to their practice. And it's nice cardstock, nice and flexible. Um, maybe it's not, maybe this isn't their cup of tea, maybe this isn't for them, right? But I think in today's day and age, people just grab them to grab them, to say that they have them. But you have to stop and ask yourself if you need it. All right, so we've got the names of them on the back of the cards, which I'm a huge fan of. I love that. I think that's great. Wow, this is really nice cardstock. All right, and we're starting off with Sybil. And I'm sorry if I go quiet at times. I'm taking it in, right? And this is alchemy. Cure. Bloodstone. Brew. Unmade. Wow, these are some really powerful images. Conjure. And I feel like this is the type of deck where you need to experience it in person. I mean, obviously you would know by looking at these images if it calls to you or not. Masked. But I feel like you have to see it in person to know, like, if you have a connection to it. Messenger. Sorry, my husband's texting me. And I didn't turn my phone off. Faceless. Wayne. Oops. Fates. Dawn. Bind. Ancestor. Wow, that's a crazy image. Womb. Does that say glitter? Oh, gather. Sorry. I was like, glitter. It's kind of a love and light term for a card that doesn't really glitter. Cunning. Skinwalker. Nice. Oh, I like that. Okay. Outcast. Fortune. Saturnine. Saturnine. I don't know how people pronounce that. Saturnine. I think of it like Saturn, the planet, obviously Saturnine. I don't know, I might be pronouncing that wrong. And I don't really care if I am. It is a crazy cool card. Scry. Talisman. Birth. Wound. Communion. Oh, what does that say? Trial. Okay, trial. Sometimes they're a little hard to capture, like to understand what it's saying, but then like you get it. Omen. Repeater. Ugh. I get so much repeating energy all the time. Obviously, I'm not learning my lessons the first time and it needs to come back around. Conqueror. Is it Conqueror? Yeah, Conqueror. I don't know if it said Conjure or Conqueror, but it's Conqueror. Lure. Horde. Feral. Oh, I like that card. A Vision. Pestilence. Other. I think that's Tarpo. I think that's a P. Tarpo? I think that's right. I don't know. I might be saying that wrong. That one's hard to see. I think that's a P-O. Tarpo. Vanity. Hex. Cord. Harlot. Origin. Wake. Tribute. Sabbath. Oh, I like that image too. Gatekeeper. Becoming. Invader. Empire. Law. Okay, so this one. I don't know what letter this is. E.g. I think it's ego. I think it's EGO. I think it's ego. And then mother. And I know that from seeing other videos. Okay, so like I said, I have a very specific reason as to why this was brought into my collection. I will be probably going over that in a different video because there's a lot to be discussed about it, and there's a lot that I have to say about it. Right off the get-go, I know that people will judge this deck and they'll look at its images and think it's dark magic, that it's evil, that it's based in like bad stuff, but it's not. This reaches into the sides, the aspect of us, the energy of us that most people are afraid of, that it's the part that our conditioning has told us to be afraid of, but it's not. It's for us to embrace because it's just as much part of us as our light aspect, right? So we are equal portions of light and dark, and we need to learn to embrace the dark as well as the light. But we live in a very solar existence right now where it's all about love and light and being a good person, and stuff like this is bad and evil, and it's not. It's the dark. It's the dark feminine. It's what makes people. This is what makes witches witches. Understanding this deck, connecting into this energy, not being afraid to harness this energy. That's what makes women decide to be feral and to be witches and to be and I don't like using the word witches because I feel like it's it's just like a title now. So like I feel like, I don't know, this is amazing. I'm moved by it, and I feel that if you've purchased this deck and you are not moved by these images, and these images don't connect to some part of you, then this is obviously not the deck for you, right? The book is beautiful, full color, little like spells or poems, I believe is what she said. Talks about how it connects to the underworld, about her art, the names, the spells, her acknowledgement, which she gives to her mother and her sister. Beautiful. I love that she gives it to her soul tribe. I call my mom and my nieces and like the women in my family that are connected to me and are close to me. I call them my soul tribe or my blood coven, right? I love it. All right. And then, yep, and then she starts. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle it. And I'm going to see if a card jumps out or if one comes forward or if I have to choose one. Oh, this shuffle is nice. I'm not a riffle shuffler, but for those of you, like that fits nice in your hand. I have kind of small hands, I think. I have a hard time. I did a job for many, many, many years that caused a lot of scar tissue and problems in my hands, from my shoulders to my hands. So there's days where my hands are not cooperating with me, and I can't shuffle the way that I used to. And you'll notice that I drop things or that I can't riffle the way that I used to, and it sucks, but you get used to it, right? It's part of life. Oh, okay. Yeah, like, can we talk about this shovel? This is beautiful. I like it. It's a thinner cardstock, so I could see people not liking it, but like I love it. It's like it just slides. We had a couple jump out, but I'm just gonna keep going on. All right. I want to hear what you have to say to me. I want a card that just tells me what you're here to do for me. All right, here we go. Look at that. Right straight face up. If I remember correctly, this is a wound. Okay, yeah, that speaks volumes to me. Okay, let's get into this book. Does she alphabetically do it? No, she does not. Okay, so I could see people complaining about that too. Like, it's not in alphabetical order, so you have to kind of flip through. All right, so we've got wound. Kiss the wound, embrace her scarlet opening. And I mean, right there, that's probably not going to be enough info for the majority, but this deck is about intuition. This deck is about connecting into like the dark feminine, the dark mother. The minute I saw this card and I saw its title, several things came to mind, right? And that's where we listen to our intuition, and these several things that came to mind definitely. So she's here to help me with my wound. And I'm going to say it's wounds because I thought of multiple wounds when this card came forward. Yeah. Well, I'm kind of lost for words to tell you the truth. This deck is definitely, I'm ready for it. So I'm ready to get into this and start working with this. And like I said, I will do a video on how I'm working with this and the reasons why I brought this and purchased this and put this into my collection. Tiera May, great job. And I'm gonna say, yep, this deck is not for everybody. There's a lot of people out there that just won't get this. They won't understand it. They won't get it. I mean, they'll probably buy it and put it on their shelf. So, I mean, you'll still get, you know, you'll still get financing and money from it. But man, all right, yeah, I'm gonna spend some time with this bad girl, because I'm telling you right now, it definitely doesn't hold back. It came right out with the first thing. But I love that about decks. I love when decks do that. I love when they're not, they're unapologetically forward, and they're just like, yeah, here you go. This is what's happening. And like I can even go deeper into it, like just looking at this card. At first you think of like your personal wounds, like the things that affected you in this life. But then if you notice she's looking up into the cosmos, it makes me start to think about like the wound as being a woman, the wound as being born as a female, the woman wound, like the wound of being a woman, right? Yeah, this is a deep diver. All right, so there's my experience with my very first experience with this gorgeous, gorgeous creation by Tiera May. I had a hard time. If you watch back a couple videos ago, or into like like if you go further back when I speak about ritual tarot and stuff, I had a hard time purchasing it because of the financial weight that it had. It was a very expensive deck, and I had problems with that. However, money aspects aside, I connect very deep with her decks, and the Ritual Tarot is one of my top using decks since it's entered my life, entered my collection. I use it all the time. I'm constantly called to it. I absolutely love it. But the price tag was hefty, and I do still have a hard time. I would love to buy a second copy of the Ritual Tarot. However, I can't pay that amount, right? So again, I got mine on sale. I waited for a really good sale and I grabbed it. However, I feel like it's hard, right, financially, but what kind of price tag do you put on knowledge, on guidance, on the connection and the source and the energy and where her decks bring you, right? That's the part that you have to be able to get on board with, is what they do, what they bring to you. I mean, I would understand if you purchased it and then you had no connections to the decks. Yeah, I'd be pissed off because it's a lot of money to have no connection. Totally get that. But that's why there's flip throughs, there's reviews. And like honestly, you need to spend time and you need to make sure that this is what you want and that you don't just want it because it's what everybody else is getting right now or it's the hot new thing, right? You got to make sure that it's speaks to you and that it's for you, because it's a lot of money to spend, right? I don't know what her price point is on this one now that it's out of Kickstarter. I purchased mine from the Kickstarter, obviously. But the only thing I can talk about is the Ritual Tarot. It was a hefty price tag, but I am fine with what I paid now for it because it's become such a beautiful friend to me, right? Such a guiding friend, such a helping friend. So, yeah. Well, here's the Cave of Sybil. And like I said, you have to decide if this is your vibe or not. And if this kind of imagery and level of magic and connection works for you. I'm so excited it's here. I can't wait. All right, I'm ending it here. I hope all of you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching and stay warm because it is freezing outside. And if you are somewhere that's warm, enjoy the beautiful weather, the warmth, because here it's freezing. All right, I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.